It is not common for the Reform, Conservative, Reconstructionist, and Orthodox movements to agree on an issue concerning halacha, Jewish law. But they all oppose a ban on abortion as it goes against our Jewish practice and belief. Judaism does not take lightly the death of a fetus due to either miscarriage or abortion. It's a real loss that must be acknowledged. With that said, Judaism considers the mother's life, her health, physical or mental, as more important than that of the fetus. And therefore, there are scenarios in which all Jewish authorities agree that abortion is permitted and sometimes even required. The seminal text from which our sages learn that abortion is not equal to murder is found in the book of Exodus. There, the Torah describes a situation in which men fight and one of them pushes a pregnant woman. If she dies, the assaulter shall be put to death according to the biblical principle of life for life, nefesh for nefesh. But if the woman is unharmed, but her fetus dies, the assaulter shall pay a fine. The ramification is that the fetus is not a nefesh. It's not a fully living being like the mother. If it were, killing it would have resulted in the death penalty like in the case of killing the mother. But because the Torah says that killing a fetus is not a capital crime and the punishment is monetary, it means that as long as the fetus is still in the womb, it doesn't have a status of a full life. It is not considered a nefesh. Based on that principle, the Mishnah some 1800 years ago teaches that when a woman experiences a dangerous childbirth, the fetus may be dissected and extracted limb by limb from her womb, because her life takes precedence over its life. Once the head had emerged, it may not be harmed because one nefesh, life, is not sacrificed on behalf of another life. The Mishnah speaks to the medical situation that demands a tragic choice between the mother's life and that of the fetus during childbirth. That choice, though painful, is clear. The mother is saved at the expense of the fetus because her life takes precedence over its life. The mother's advantage disappears, however, once the fetus emerges from the womb. At that point, neither life takes precedence. We might say that each nefesh enjoys the same right to life, so that neither may be favored over the other. Another legal principle that the sages applied to the subject of abortion is the law of rodef, pursuer. Rodef is someone who runs after a person with the intention of killing them. The Jewish law requires the killing of the pursuer before they execute their plan. Against this backdrop, we now look at Maimonides, the 12th century most influential rabbi. He says, the Torah commands that we show no mercy to the life of the rodef, the pursuer. The sages therefore ruled that when a pregnant woman experiences a dangerous childbirth, it is permitted to dissect the fetus in her womb, whether by means of a drug or by surgery, because it is akin to a pursuer, rodef, seeking to kill her. But once its head has emerged, it may not be harmed, because one nefesh is not sacrificed on behalf of another nefesh. This is the nature of the world. Maimonides, based on earlier Talmudic sources, defines the fetus who endangers its mother's life as a rodef, pursuer, and therefore should be aborted to save her life. Once most of its body is outside of the womb, its life has the same status as the mother's, and killing him or her is akin to murder. There are many more Jewish sources dealing with abortion, as there are myriad nuances. After reviewing them, it is safe to say that in a case of a danger to the mother, physical or emotional, abortion is permissible and sometimes even obligatory. Most halachic deciders would also permit abortion in cases of pregnancy caused by rape or incest, or when the child is liable to be born with a physical or mental birth defect like Tay-Sachs that will result in a life of suffering for the child and the family. Still others permit abortion even in situations in which the woman is not married or when the father is not her husband. I personally believe that abortion is an ethical and religious matter and should not have become political, let alone partisan. It is a very complex and nuanced issue, and therefore the decision should be made after sufficient learning and deliberations. But at the end, it is a private matter between the woman, her doctor, and her God. See you next week.